Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Buy Box Bandits podcast. Today, we have my man Garret Rozell on. He's got the best background for the YouTube viewers for an Amazon seller could constantly have. But he's a guy I've been watching for years on YouTube. Now he's doing some good stuff with online and retail arbitrage, and so we're excited to have him here. We also want to thank our sponsor, SellerAmp. So make sure you get a free trial. Link in the description on that and everything. But Garret, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. Been watching the podcast for quite a while, so super excited to get on here and chat it up with you guys.
Sweet. Yeah, episode 82.
This is a strange thing. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever met another Garret in the Amazon space. So
There's Garret Simon
I've
as well.
never meet
Garretception
people.
going on.
Yeah.
I'm the only Garret that I feel like spells my name with one T at the end.
Ooh, yeah.
I didn't notice
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, Garrett's whack with 2 T's on that. But yeah, man, take us back to the beginning. How'd you, learn Amazon, get into it, all that?
Yeah, so I feel like I kind of started how most people start. I kind of just came across a YouTube video. I was working at FedEx at the time, just got out of high school, was going to school and stuff like that. Came across one of Reezy Resell's videos about selling books. So I was like, I was trying network marketing at the time, all that crazy stuff. Wasn't getting any traction with any of that. So I was like, what do I got to lose? You spend 50 cents, $1 on a book. So I started doing that, hitting Goodwills, library book sales, started selling books. Then I eventually got into more RA stuff because I started getting ungated and like Nike, Adidas, all that good stuff. So I was hitting the outlets, launched some private label products along the way. But nowadays, that was about 5 years ago. Today, I'm mostly just doing OA and wholesale. I do a little bit of RA, but most of my business nowadays is just OA and wholesale. So nothing crazy. Started with used books, transition into RA, wholesale, the whole nine. So that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy.
So you said 5 years ago. So that's 2017 you started?
Yep. About
Wow.
20, I think late 2017. So yeah.
So I'm sure the landscape of selling on Amazon has changed a lot since 2017 to now.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually got more heavy into private label when I first started. But that game has definitely changed with all the Chinese competitors coming in, the big kind of corporate guys bringing all this money into the space. Like,
how'd you first find out about private label in 2017?
Honestly, just one of the ads that one of the gurus were running was like, start your own brand. So I bought a course and I just started doing it. But it really wasn't that hard back then to launch a private label product. I mean, the first product I launched, I just turned on an auto PPC campaign and it started selling. So I kind of just started scaling little trinkets, adding to that catalog. But now it's super competitive. The prices, like, if you find a product nowadays, like other people are going to find it, take the prices. People are willing to just blow money on PPC. So I kind of, once the pandemic hit, I just kind of scratched off all my private label stuff and just too much headache for me at the moment. But
And do you have any leftover stock that you're still trying to kind of liquidate, or is that completely?
no, I'm completely sold out of all that stuff. I probably only had about 12 ASINs I was running, and they're doing like $4 or $5 grand a month. So they're just kind of smaller products. But yeah, I'm completely sold out, only doing OA and wholesale nowadays.
And in order to build those listings, did you hire someone out or did you do it yourself? That was all kind of administered through the course?
I would hire people to like do the product photography, the copy on the listing. But as far as like PPC and stuff like that, I was just running it myself. But yeah, as far as like listing stuff, I'm not good at like Photoshop, copy, or any of that stuff. So I just kind of found someone on Upwork to do that stuff for me.
And kind of, obviously you've been in it for 5 years or so. How has your kind of sourcing shifted, right? A lot different landscape 5 years ago. What sort of sourcing were you doing back then in comparison to how you're sourcing now and finding new products?
Yeah, for like the first 3 years, I was pretty much like 95% RA after I was getting stuff going as far as like selling brand name stuff. So I was just sourcing outlets, stuff like that. And it wasn't really until this last year I started getting more into wholesale with like when the pandemic hit, a lot of the stores shut down, the outlets were closed, the supply chain issues, there just wasn't a lot of product to buy at the type of stores I was shopping at. So then I started getting more into wholesale and OA. But the big bottleneck for me was I don't have a ton of space because this isn't a commercial address. This is just like a shop at one of my family members' house that I rent from them. So yeah, I just got more into wholesale OA. But the big bottleneck, what I was saying is like sourcing OA, I just never really liked it. Tactical arbitrage, just running random searches. But then like Miles started putting out a bunch of content on like reverse sourcing, manual sourcing with Seller Amp.
The wave. Yeah.
And the main thing I hated with OA was like having to just go back and forth from website to website to manually search products.
Yeah, that's the hardest. It's the most profitable, but it's also the hardest.
Yeah. So I was like, I'd do it for a couple days. I'm like, you know what? I do not enjoy doing this. It just takes forever. So I just kind of kept doing what I was doing. But really this year I started transitioning out of RA into more OA and wholesale. And the wholesale I do is more of just kind of one-off buys. It's not like replen wholesale. But yeah, that's pretty much how my sourcing strategy has changed nowadays. So nothing crazy.
And then you're in Cali. So are you paying sales tax on all the arbitrage stuff?
I'm actually in Arizona. So
I don't know why I thought you were in Cali from your YouTube videos. Have you ever been in Cali in your YouTube videos?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, I'm wild. Okay. I was like one state off. I totally thought you were in Cali for whatever reason.
No, yeah, I'm still paying sales tax. I was using a prep center for all my OA stuff.
Yeah.
But I was telling you before some stuff kind of happened with that. So currently looking for a new prep center. And then the main wholesaler I buy from, he was actually talking about trying to start a prep center. So I started working with him, kind of showing him how to prep products and stuff over just face calls and stuff. So he actually sends my stuff to Amazon for me now.
Nice.
So once I can get a new good prep center in a tax-free state, then I should be able to have all the prep stuff outsourced, which is going to be really nice.
Dude.
And that stuff behind you looks like some of it's used, right? Is that for other platforms?
I started during the pandemic, like eBay was doing like no fees on sneakers, and I was like still doing outlets and stuff. And I'd always find shoes with like without the box top and stuff like that I could sell on eBay. And the stimmy checks were hitting, so people were buying like Metcons for like $130 plus shipping, and I was getting them for $49.
Dude,
so I probably got
fees.
Like 700 pairs of shoes that I'm just trying to get rid of at the moment because I'm sick of doing eBay too.
Stimulus check season was like the craziest. Just like
even when the pandemic first hit, I was just going.
Didn't make sense. Just didn't make sense. People got $1,200 and were like, "Fuck it, I'll buy this for $3 over retail. I can get it tomorrow, and I don't have to leave my house." Sure, like it was.
And you would see when they come in, because it would be pretty stagnant, and then it'd go, and you were like, "Oh, the stimulus checks must have hit in some state," or
it was ridiculous. I mean, it was sick, but it was nuts. Like, it was not that slowed down. Some of those listings, I remember some shoes, like it was just it made no sense.
And
no sense.
the Air Force Ones back in the day.
Oh my God.
Like-
yeah. Some
like
people didn't learn the actual skill. So like they think it's like saturated now. Sure, it's a little bit harder, but you should be better if you learn the actual skill.
We're paying like $300 for Air Forces on.
Yeah, I sold $250. That we all got out the mud with those. Like that was like all of our first like 50K sales were that.
Air
People were
Force Ones
paying-
and Flobies.
People were paying 3x over
Ooh.
retail for shoes that were like in stock on Foot Locker or on
Yes,
Nike.com. Like they were in
yeah.
stock. Like they were there. like they're there. Except you paid 3x over retail on Amazon to maybe get Amazon Prime. Like,
Remember the guy
would
that was
be-
in your town that you knew bought the Air Force Ones from you?
no, that was Yeezys.
Oh, even worse. Even
Yeah,
worse.
that was funny. I had started botting shoes for fun during the start of the pandemic, and some Yeezys got sent by accident to this other kid's address, and I called FedEx and they gave me the address they were at, and I went there and I told him, he's like, "All right, meet me at the garage." So I walked to the garage, and he opens up the door, and there's just hundreds of pairs of Yeezys.
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about on Twitter
yeah,
too.
Jake knows who he is.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was crazy. Yeah. That was a
Do you
good
guys ever sell any Yeezys on Amazon? I heard people were paying like
margins.
700-800 for those.
Yeah, the margins are
No.
crazy, but you're screwed if you get an authentic because you actually don't have like any substantial quantity
Right.
online receipts.
I did hear people were selling.
Oh
Yeezys
yeah,
on Amazon.
definitely.
I
Oh
never
yeah,
did,
you'll
though.
definitely make money. It's just a pain.
Because you can buy from like what, Goat and StockX and just
Yeah,
send
for
them
like
right to
300
Amazon.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming with the way the people are who buy these shoes, you'll get an authentic complaint quickly,
Yeah.
like swift.
We
Like,
were
quick.
talking about that though. And Garrett, so you sell a lot of shoes. Have you noticed as well that returns are getting hard? Like people are doing less returns these days. Inauthentic complaints are being less these days.
Yeah, I feel like the returns are pretty much, at least for me, been at the same level, kind of around
Mhm.
15%. I haven't gotten an inauthentic complaint in like probably 5 or 6 months.
Which is crazy on the type
I
of
used
stuff
to
you
get one,
sell.
like-
It's just yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it would be weird because like 4 would come in on like the same day. And I'm like, I was like, is someone trying to like mess with my account or what is going on? But yeah, I haven't gotten the last inauthentic complaint I got was like on a woman's Adidas tank top. And I'm like, okay, so it really makes no sense. But yeah, I haven't gotten one on shoes in forever, to be honest.
Good. That's a beautiful thing.
Is that the
Hopefully
category you
keep it
sell
that
most
way.
on Amazon? The shoes?
Yeah, most of my OA and RA stuff is like shoes, clothing, and like sportswear stuff. Wholesale, I do more of like kind of higher end electronics at the moment. But yeah, most of the stuff I've been selling for years is just shoes and clothing.
It's the bread and butter. What attracted you to that?
I actually used to like sell kind of the hyped up Jordans and stuff. I'd camp out in like middle school, high school on the weekends for
Good
like
times.
releases.
Yeah, good times, man.
And then
Seriously.
I kind of just like, I don't know, when I first started Amazon, like everyone on social media, like Nike was the thing because no one knew of the ways to get ungated. So like
Yeah.
you just hoped and prayed that you'd get ungated.
But you got it, right?
Yeah, it took about
Yeah.
6 to 8 months. I don't remember exactly, but like almost every day I would try to request approval. Then one day it just, you're approved. Then I started hitting the Marshalls, stuff like that. And I feel like just the hype of selling Nike was what got me into it. And then I found out that you can make good money selling Nike, Adidas, stuff like that. So that's just kind of been what I've been selling for pretty much my whole time.
So you submitted the same receipt invoice every single day for?
No, I wouldn't
Oh,
even submit a receipt.
No, this was
Request
before
for
those
auto
days.
approval.
Yeah, this was before those days. Yeah.
Wait, so
Yeah, you
when
used to
did you get approved to sell Nike? Like when was that?
It was like 6 to 8 months in of
No,
actually.
the year though.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
like
it
month and
was
year.
early 2018.
Yeah, that's big
Oh,
baller
that's
brand. That's
big
2
early.
years.
Yeah, that's when the
that's-
outlets had like you could go into the outlet,
Yeah.
spend $5,000, no problem. Now they have all these limits, 5 per style. You can only get 30 items. Before you could
Haters,
just
man.
literally go in, buy 100, 150 pairs of shoes. The only limit was like 10 per style, but they didn't have any other limits. So, and there wasn't as much competition back then, which was
Yeah.
nice.
You would see
Yeah, I
these
saw
guys
one
at
of
the
your YouTube
outlets.
videos. And you were picking up socks from like Marshalls and stuff, right? And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
read
I
some
was
of the
like-
comments and they're like, dude, how
That
can you
video
get?
is like responsible for half of my subscribers.
Oh,
probably.
you made a bag. Yeah, I've seen that video. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just the most random crap video, just like kind of went a little bit viral, which was
Yeah.
kind of fun. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he just randomly picking up socks from Marshalls and all the comments like, dude, I go to Marshalls, there's never any
Yeah,
socks.
it
yeah,
has
there's not anymore because Nike don't sell to them anymore. But they're used
yeah,
to you can get Nike
250K.
socks all day from Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. But those days are long gone.
Yeah, you got a bunch of videos with over 100K. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, several on those. Or no, it's the one big one over 30, 10K, 50K. Yeah, got a bunch in there. What made you want to do the YouTube stuff?
I don't know. I just kind of saw people doing it. And I actually like a long time ago, you can look up my old YouTube channel. It was about just like sneaker reviews, but like I never got any followers or stuff like that. So I always like kind of tried making content. But then I just started seeing like people doing RA videos that are blowing up on YouTube. I was like, it don't hurt to just get a camera, film myself what I'm already doing and throw some stuff out there. And I think it took a year to really start getting some traction. But the RA videos was kind of what put me on the map on YouTube. But yeah, nothing, I don't know. I just kind of started filming, making content, just kind of fun, meeting people and getting involved in like the different Facebook groups and stuff like that, which is nice. But I didn't really have the plan to like try to put out content or anything. It just kind of happened.
The RA videos are dope. Like they're so fun. You know what I mean? People get like the OA videos are so boring. It's just like me sitting at the computer, like just.
Yeah, I know. I really want to make more RA content, but then once I get out there and start driving around, I'm like, this sucks. Like I did this for so long. Like I just hate shopping now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy
just
thing though,
ripping the
because
OA.
so many people would stop making content in that year that it took you to kind of build up your platform and your channel, right? Most people would.
Right.
And obviously the payoff is pretty substantial.
Yeah, actually, when I first started making content, like you didn't have to have like the 1,000 subs or 4,000 hours watch time to be monetized. So I was like monetized day one, but like a month after starting, that new rule came in. So then I became unmonetized. So I was like,
no.
I can't even make anything. And it took me a year to get monetized, to get up to 1,000 subscribers of like posting consistently. But once you kind of get the ball rolling, it really starts to take off after that, especially with social media, I found.
Mm-hmm. So is it just you or any VAs, or is it just a one-man op?
I tried hiring a couple VAs. I kind of just like doing the sourcing. I was just hiring them to source products with OA. I just kind of like doing it myself, to be honest, because I don't know. I feel like the quality of leads I'd get, and I was constantly having to train them. I just didn't really like that. So I just got rid of them. I have a VA for like, if I need a good YouTube video edited, but as far as Amazon go, I just kind of do everything myself at the moment.
Including prep and everything? Obviously you got all your
Oh,
stuff
no,
there.
my sister actually works for me in like the evenings to prep my like RA stuff and OA stuff. So yeah, I hate prepping stuff. I can't.
But you said you're looking to transition to a prep center soon, or your friend who's doing it, you said?
Yeah, my wholesale guy that I order from, he just sends my stuff direct to Amazon. And I was using a prep center for my OA stuff, but like, I'll just say I was using Tiger Lily Prep, and I don't know what happened there.
Oh no. You got to go up to Montana and get your stuff, dude. Yeah.
Dude,
what happened with Tiger Lily Prep?
I don't know, because everything was going good. Then I started seeing all these people posting like, don't send stuff to Tiger Lily Prep. I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on? So then I looked, and some of my shipments have been there for like a month. And I'm like, okay, that's strange. And so I reached out to the lady, and she got my stuff shipped out like 2 days after my email.
Oh, okay. All right. So you weren't holding the bag at least.
No, but then when it got checked into Amazon, only half of it got received.
Ooh.
So now I'm like stuck in the position, like, did Amazon lose it or did they never send it? So
that's a story for another day. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
here.
wasn't there a picture posted on somewhere where all like the inventory was sitting out of the house, or was that just a meme? Was that actually
I don't know.
I thought it was legit.
I heard someone went by there and like drove
up in Montana.
I heard it's just a house.
Like, so I'm actually not sure if that's just like a meme that someone came up with, or if that's the actual place. I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of my fault for not doing further investigation about them. But I even looked them up on like Google Earth to see like what it looked like, and it just looked like a dirt lot. So, but I was like, maybe like
hey, bro, as long as they're getting it out to Amazon, you get.
Yeah, the first few shipments I sent to them were all good, but then after
a
that,
dirt lot. That's hilarious.
That's interesting. Yeah, I know there's some people on Twitter that were like sounding off, like they lost a ton of money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, people on Twitter.
I don't exactly know what happened, but someone was saying they lost a lot of money through Tiger Lily Prep.
Yeah, I'm missing probably like 15 to 20K of sales value worth of stuff.
Damn.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you just go to Montana, bro. Get that shit.
Yeah, it's Montana. You could do that.
My dad's crazy friend. He lives in Idaho.
Well, it's a lot of even just because I don't know what the deal is, but if they just have it, but who knows? I mean,
I feel like
that stuff is probably long gone. Probably sold on eBay or something.
Yeah,
it's so weird though, because everything was perfect. They never missed a shipment. It was quick, and then all of a sudden, just I don't know. It just went to hell. I don't know what happened. Everyone was freaking out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Dude, that's the tough thing about prep centers. I mean, obviously that stuff usually never happens. But when it does, there's just like, there's literally nothing. You can't do anything in like that moment to reconcile. There's just, you can only do is reach out to them and hope it gets solved. But like when you do have that prep center that works well, like Garrett, Miles, and I all transitioned to prep centers in this past year. It's like,
That's why you got to get in on the ground
I
floor.
feel like a lot of the good
amazing.
ones are like capped out though. Like,
Well, that's good because it means they can't scale too quick. Yeah.
right.
I found, there's like the really small ones, like the mom and pop ones, and then there's the large, like there's one out in New Hampshire. I'm forgetting the name. It's like capped.
Institutional, wholesale ones. Yeah.
I prefer the small mom and pop ones because like I have one out in Montana that's just like, it's like the son, the mom, and then I think a couple other people working there. And like I talk, like that kid, he texts me and I call him and we have like an actual personal relationship.
Did you Google Earth it?
Yeah. It's actually a house. Or it's like
I Google Earth mine too. I'm not gonna lie.
You have to.
But the problem is, it doesn't make sense for them to say that small. Like it makes zero sense.
No,
to
I
not
know it
scale
doesn't,
up.
but I know in this moment right now, like
yeah,
he knows my stuff. I know what's going. Like it obviously doesn't make sense for him to say the small forever.
Bro, it's the priority
right now,
stuff.
it's
They
great.
see Wi-Fi, they see Mr. Wi-Fi on the box, and it's priority.
Yeah, I pay them a lot of money.
So how do you imagine in a year from now, in an ideal situation, what numbers would you be doing? What OA wholesale split? Would you, what does the ideal situation look like business-wise a year from now?
Yeah. So right now I'm about 60% wholesale, probably 30% OA, and the rest RA. I'm definitely, the only RA stuff I plan on doing is just if like a local manager hits me up or something saying we got this, got that. But a year from now, I think next year my goal is to crack 3 million in sales if I can get everything dialed in. I should have probably cracked 2 million this year, but just like transitioning into the prep center and like trying to outsource a lot more stuff kind of slowed my sales.
Yeah, the
down.
momentum's so key, because there's those little sprints where it's like a certain sale or a certain item.
I had like a month where I didn't really send much inventory in, so it kind of takes a couple months to recover from that.
Yeah, and then another 40 days to like start selling, and then another 40 days after that for it to get your money back. And
but I think with wholesale, I really only work with one wholesaler that he just gets enough product for me to buy with the amount of capital I have at the moment. But next year, if I can really get some Amazon loans and stuff like that, I think 3 million is a good goal. I think I could do more. It's just going to come down to whether or not the capital, cash flow, and stuff like that. But I'm really just going to be doing OA and wholesale. More of the OA stuff. I used to just kind of buy 10 of this, 15 of that. Nowadays with OA, I'm just trying to find stuff that I can go deep on, a few hundred units. So kind of keep that catalog small, but hopefully next year I could crack 3 million for sure.
If you ever need any help on some MOQs, you know who to call.
I know you got all the tricks. I'm still kind of learning how to get through.
We can talk on. Yeah. Seriously, we ought to touch base off camera on some of that stuff.
Have you been offered any Amazon loans from like on the dashboard?
Yeah. I actually just took one, I think for like 56K. But it's just through Amazon lending. I have a Goldman Sachs one for like 100K, but I don't know how I really feel about taking loans outside of Amazon, just in the event that my account did get suspended or something, then I owe an outside source money. Whereas if it's Amazon, then I kind of just feel more comfortable. But
well, they're still going to ask for your money. I've heard some horror stories about that. Is even if they shut down your account, they're still knocking on the door for their interest or for their payments.
I had a away plan, but I guess it's not going to work.
Does do the Amazon lending loans come straight out of the disbursement?
Yeah, they take it right out.
Okay. I took an outside one through
Marcus.
It wasn't Goldman Sachs. Who's the other one?
Marcus?
Wait, no, I think it was through Goldman Sachs. Wait, no. Who's
it's like Nexos or something.
It was like Lendtree.
Lendtree, I think.
I was gonna say Lendify, but it's not
Lendify.
I think it's something like that.
That was the other name.
Lendistry.
Oh, another one.
Yeah. Lendistry.
Was it on your dashboard or it was like outside?
No, it was on my dashboard. But Amazon lending just like never just never came up for your boy. I don't know.
Never
Ever.
blessed, never
It took
blessed.
me
Never.
a minute. Garrett, did you Garrett all AOA, did it ever offer you Amazon?
Yeah, we've had one for a while. We just
Did you
haven't
take
taken
it?
it.
What's the deeds?
I just got updated. I would have to check.
Yeah, I have one out for 73K at like 12% APR.
I wish
They're low,
I wish
though.
the loans were like interest only to where you didn't have to make like monthly payments. You just pay
Yeah,
the
that would
Yeah.
yeah,
would
you
be
could
way
snowball
better.
stuff way quicker. Yeah.
I don't
But-
know what I think my Lendistry one's like 100 grand at I think like 8%.
How does that work with lines of credit? You just take it when you need it and
it
you
wasn't a line of credit. It was
ooh.
term loan.
Oh. Well, I mean that
The goal-
doesn't I still don't know how lines of credit work, but
Yeah, it's just like each time you take out the money from the line of credit, that essentially becomes like a term loan. It's the same thing.
yeah, 262 grand. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So,
Oh,
On
so
that-
you
Garrett,
should be able to get a pretty nice sized lending loan, I'd think, with your
Yeah,
sale.
well, I have one out. Yeah, I have one out
Okay.
right now. From just Lendistry's hit my line too on that and
I-
everything.
I
Yep.
also think if we were to go to a third party, like any of us go to a third party off of the people not offered through Amazon, we could probably get like a huge loan.
well, that's what I did in the very beginning. That's what I did.
So like what
I've-
was it in the beginning for you?
Oh, I mean, this is 2, 3 years ago. I think it was 20,000 at like 8 or 9% interest.
Oh,
But the
that's
thing is,
nice.
right, they're looking to build like that relationship, right? And
Yeah.
so halfway through the payoff, they re-upped me, I think to like 35. And then if I went up again, they'd probably raise it to like 70, 80.
Trying to
Right,
get you
so
to
they're
break.
looking to,
Trying
yeah,
to
they're
get you to
looking to
break
keep you on
eventually.
as a client and keep just like flourishing
Well,
the
yeah, they want to make
relationship.
as much money as possible. of
Yeah.
course.
I feel it. Yeah, on that.
Garrett, kind of cycling back to your RA stuff, did you have any like backdoor relationships with any of the managers, or because obviously you hit up those places a lot? Did you know
Right.
the employees? Did you have any kind of backhand agreements and stuff?
Yeah, there's a few managers that I work with at a couple of the outlets that will literally just text me when they get shipments in or text me when they're doing markdowns. And a lot of times they won't even bring the product out on the floor. They'll just send me pictures of the UPCs they have. I'll tell them which ones I want, and I just go pick them up.
That's how you do it. Yeah,
that took
that's
a
how you
long
do
time.
it. Yeah.
In the beginning, I didn't get any of that stuff. But I've always been the type of guy to where like there's a lot of resellers that will go into stores, buy stuff, and then if it doesn't sell, they'll just return it. And it just gives you a bad look. So I've always been the guy not returning stuff. If they're trying to move product, even if it's not the best ROI or the best selling product, I'll still buy it just to help them move stuff. So over the years, I kind of just created that I'm the guy you need to be calling if you're trying to get rid of product or you're trying to sell a lot of products. So a lot of the stores have actually gotten more reseller friendly. So a lot of the managers they'll just text me when they get shipments or if they're doing markdowns. Like the Adidas in my area this Friday, no one knows except me. They're doing 70% off the whole store. So I'll be the first one there to get all the good stuff. So just kind of building those relationships definitely gives you a step up in RA, because there's other people out there that are getting backdoor stuff. That I feel like that's why a lot of times people go into stores and they don't really find a ton of stuff, because there's definitely a lot of that type of stuff that goes on for sure.
Well,
Mhm.
that's the
And
same sort of mindset that's going to scale to wholesale as you continue to, if you get more accounts and that sort of thing, right? That's the sort of thing that builds the rapport with your sales reps. They're looking for help out on inventory that they're trying to liquidate. If you're that person, then the next time they have a chance to re-up a discount or give you deeper discounts, I mean, that's going to be you.
Yeah, like the thing is, you don't want to be like, you want it to be as easy for these other people to sell you product. You don't want to be a hassle. You just want to make the process as easy as possible. And I feel like if you're easy to work with, they're going to choose you over someone else that's always giving them a hard time. So I always just try to make the process easy, do what I can to help them out, whether that's just taking more inventory that they're trying to liquidate, so on and so forth. But just really trying to build that relationship that over time, it really starts to pay off once you start getting kind of the more exclusive offers and stuff like that, if that makes sense.
yeah, and so many people are hard to work with on stuff and everything. So is a lot of like on the OA side of things, is it just like manual and reverse stuff these days, or any outside?
Yeah, I pretty much just have a couple storefronts at the moment that that I do storefront stocking, just kind of seeing if they're bringing new ASINs on. But I kind of sell a lot of the same type of products. So the main thing I'm looking for every day is like just checking the different websites I'm purchasing from, see if they're running a sale or coupon or something like that. And just constantly every day, just checking to see if I get an email with a coupon, something like that. But most of the sourcing, I actually just like going directly on a website and going through the sale products, if there's a coupon, I start checking the full price products, see if I can maybe build in some more margin with a discount gift card or something like that. But I don't really use any other software except SellerAmp when it comes to OA, just going on the actual store's website and doing the manual research that way.
Do you use the right click where it pops up the SAS Smart Search? Oh, I'll have to show you that. Yeah, that'll help. That'll help manually. Yeah. That's something I didn't even know about till recently on this stuff. And how do you reprice?
Pretty much I kind of reprice my RA and OA stuff differently because I've done a lot of RA this year too. I kind of I think I have like 600 or 700 active items. So it's kind of hard.
That's a ton. Yeah, that's a shit ton. Yeah.
For those, I just set like a 30% minimum ROI rule and just kind of let it do its thing, which probably isn't the best strategy. But as far as OA stuff and wholesale, I'll just go in individually into my repricer and set different parameters based on that product, whether Amazon's on the listing or not on the listing, what's my target ROI, my minimum, maximum prices, stuff like that. But I don't really have a crazy repricing strategy other than just minimums, maximums, and I just kind of let it do its thing.
I feel like we don't, none of us get super detailed in that either.
Yeah. For some of your wholesale stuff, you said you worked in like higher end electronics. Do you compete with Amazon a lot?
Yeah, I actually do. So a lot of the wholesale stuff I buy, Amazon's actually on the listing. So what I definitely like to do is I check Keepa to make sure I look at the 12-month history. What's the lowest price that Amazon's ever sold that product for? Because a lot of times with electronics, like another store will run a sale. So Amazon's matching that sale price, so on and so forth. So I always make sure that even if I had to sell it at the lowest price, I'm still a little bit profitable, kind of build in that safety net. But a lot of people are afraid to sell against Amazon, but I sell on a lot of listings that Amazon's on.
This has actually been something that Danny and I have been talking about for the past couple of weeks, is starting to take on some of those SKUs that Amazon is on the listing and so we were talking about personally undercutting them like 5-10% to see if we can get some of those consumers that are more price conscious, like willing to save $5-10.
Yeah,
as long as
click the CL.
Yeah. So are you just matching Amazon? Are you undercutting, or how are you going about it?
I'm definitely undercutting them. And a lot of times through Keepa, you can see like if other FBA sellers come on the listing and undercut Amazon, is Amazon going to keep lowering and lowering the price, which they do on a lot of listings. But most of the stuff I come in, whether it's $5 cheaper, $10 cheaper on like a $400 item, is Amazon sharing that buy box with the lower FBA price, so on and so forth. But I'd probably say over half the stuff I buy, Amazon's on, to be honest.
Interesting. I would love to see. I was gonna say random. I would love to see Amazon's back end on how they reprice, because on some of their listings, it's exactly like you said. They'll just keep lowering their price, and then on others, they just like keep it the same,
diamond
no
hand.
matter what. Like they could be 50% higher than everyone else, and they're just still just like diamond handing at like just no one's like it's interesting. I want to see how they reprice.
Yeah, there's a listing I'm on right now where they're like yo-yoing me, where they drop their price, so I drop it below them, then they raise it back up $1, so I raise it right below them, and they just keep playing that game. So it feels like every listing, their strategy for repricing is different.
It's different. It's so crazy because it almost feels like each listing they reprice on, they're somehow doing it manually. Because the way it happens is a lot of it seems so strategic, but it's like there's no way because they have so many listings.
Yeah, like they couldn't have that. How would they build a software that could just like do all these different like it doesn't make any sense, but
it's crazy.
Who knows?
And then some listings they share the buy box when they're in stock. Some listings they don't. Like it's wild how.
Yeah,
but regardless, a lot of the stuff that like I'm sure the overall product is moving tens of thousands of times. Right. So even if you're competing for that 5-10% that Amazon's or the 5-10% of customers that are going to be price conscious, that's
Right.
still like significant volume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of the main things to take into account too. If it's like a listing that's doing 10, 15,000 sales a month, even if you can get 5% of those sales, like
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
still not bad. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people avoid Amazon because they're scared to sell at them, which it depends what type of products you're selling to, how much margin you have to work with. A lot of the electronics I sell are $300-400. So there's kind of more profit left versus if I'm selling a $18 grocery item that I'm making $2 on. So you kind of got to just spread out your risk and test stuff out, you know?
When you're
Mhm.
competing against Amazon on the listings and like, you know, their price the same as you, do you find yourself winning the buy box, or do you think a lot of your sales are coming from people clicking on the other sellers tab?
It just depends. I feel like I've even had a listing to where I was priced a little bit higher than Amazon, but the volume on that listing was so high, I was still getting some sales. So,
Yeah.
but most of the time I try to be priced below Amazon, just so even if I can't win the buy box, I'm still kind of in that lower tier buy box below it, to where some customers are going to see, hey, I want to save $5-10 on this item, and they're still going to purchase it. So
Cool.
yeah, it really just depends.
Sweet. Yeah. So kind of finishing up. So you've been around for a lot longer than we have with this stuff. What are some of the main traits, you know, and just different things you've seen from people who have been able to, you know, stick around for a few years? 'Cause even us being around 2-3 years on stuff, very few people are still around, but those that are still around typically are doing pretty well and a lot better than they were a couple years ago.
Yeah. I even started this with a few friends and I'm the only one left doing it. But the main trait I see, I've never seen someone who's like a hustler and willing to really work hard and put in the work that can't succeed selling on Amazon. If someone's actually trying day in, day out, and they do it for like a 12-month period, I've never seen someone not get results. So I feel like the people that don't get results are kind of just the people that are chasing that shiny object syndrome, and they're not really willing to put in that work. Because to get Amazon off the ground, like there's a lot of stuff you got to learn, and it's a lot of work in the beginning. If you're prepping your products, all that good stuff, like you just have to be someone who's a hustler, willing to work hard. If you have those traits, I guarantee you, no matter what you're starting with, what obstacles are in front of you, Amazon, like you can make a lot of money selling on Amazon if you're willing to hustle. So hustle is the number one thing I see. You guys can probably see it within each other. Like you all are just out here trying to make money. Like, and Amazon is pretty easy to make money with if you actually just put in the work. So that would be the one thing.
Yeah.
100%
Well said.
agree.
Yeah, completely.
well
I
said.
completely agree as well. That's a good clip there on that. Sweet. Yeah. Thanks a lot for coming on, man. Where can everyone find you on socials?
I'm Garret Rozell on YouTube, Instagram. I just started posting a little on there. Garret with 1 T on the end _Rozell. I got TikTok too at Garret Rozell, so you guys can find me over on those.
Yeah, go check him out. A lot of good RA videos, some wholesale OA stuff now as well. And that's thanks a lot, guys. Check out free trial seller amp on that down below and everything. Hope you guys have a great day. I think it's episode 82 on that. So it's 17 more or 18 more till a hundo on that. See you later, guys.
Thanks, man.